Hello everybody, it's your boy XXX420 Blaze it XXX here with another Fez episode. Alright, just kidding. So I went ahead and I spent some money on a road here, road here, road here, road here. So that's 4 roads I'm going to build. I also did 25% road maintenance in those provinces. And then there's that harborage building over here. I did a harborage over here, 25% maintenance into that harborage as well. Because the path is going to be from Fez out to this province, because this province connects to Tlemcen, so I think it's better to build pathing in this province, focus it on this province, and then it'll also go to Tlemcen versus this province. The other thing is, I'm still building pathing in Fez, so that'll be rank 3 pathing, which will help with the CE in my country a little bit. But I was looking at not commercialization, I was looking at meritocracy. So I just did the meritocracy meritocracy reform is what it's called. I think I'm at 5. If I can find it. Meritocracy, okay, I'm at 4. So, where is it? Here we go. Meritocracy rate has to be greater than or equal to 6. I just realized that that's, someone might have mentioned it, but it's greater than or equal to 6. So meritocracy rate has to be greater than or equal to 6. I just got it to 4 from 3. So 2 more levels of that, and then we can get rid of that requirement. Ruler skill has to be greater than or equal to 3. Legalism has to be present. The province is our capital. Capital infrastructure has to be 1. It has to be greater than or equal to 1. Fez does not have that. Fez has no capital infrastructure, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build that right now. That is slots. That's not what I want. So it will cost 1,168 ducats. We have 2,700 ducats thanks to a contribution by Mali. So I'm going to get that going. So this was parallelism 2, and it went down to 1? I really don't understand that whole parallelism system. But anyway, so that's gonna happen. Actually, you know what? I was just looking at this. The top level, so this is split up into 2 things. It's split up into Invention Requirements, and it's split up into Provincial Invention Progress. So I assume the top half, Invention Requirements, is if the invention doesn't exist, then you can spawn it using that, but if it exists, you only have to look at the bottom. So if you look at the bottom, on the way bottom, it says Provincial Spread Requirements. Legalism has to be present, and meritocracy rate has to be greater than or equal to 5, so it actually has to be less than what I thought. It only has to be 5, which means the next reform we should be able to start getting this then. And then the rate that it spreads, or builds, or whatever, is then capital infrastructure greater than or equal to 1 plus 2, capital infrastructure greater than or equal to 2 plus 2, and then its ruler admin skill also adds, and then it multiplies by 1 minus the provincial corruption squared, and then 1 minus state corruption squared. So I think our provincial corruption and state corruption is decent. It's at least going down. I should be getting my capital infrastructure to 1 eventually when that finally builds, which, going off the Hungary campaign, was a long time. But I have until we get to meritocracy rate 5 anyway before I should start getting that. And then ruler admin skill. All of my rulers' admin skills have kind of sucked, and I have to just randomly pick rulers, so hopefully I can pick some good rulers that have admin skill to help get meritocracy. I think the good thing about meritocracy is even if I get it, it's not going to automatically spread to other countries if they don't have that meritocracy rate. Because I'm pretty sure you have to have meritocracy reforms in order to even get it, because in my Hungary campaign I tried to knowledge share with a country that had it. I specifically knowledge shared for meritocracy, but it would not spread in my capital, so it's something that shouldn't automatically spread up to the Iberian powers, so I should have that for a while before they're able to get it. Going off of my Hungary campaign when most of Europe didn't have it well into the 1600s. So if I can get that, that's huge. Tech cost negative 30%, yearly corruption negative 0.3, admin efficiency plus 10%. So hopefully I can get that with that next reform. Alright, I think it's been a couple years. So I looked up the totals for Castile and Aragon. So these guys are... Castile is allied with Brittany, France, and Aragon. And Aragon is pretty much allied with the same people. Brittany, France, and Castile. Also, Castile broke their alliance with me. But Aragon's still allied with me, so... There's this quad alliance going on between Castile, Aragon, France, and Brittany. So I don't think I can really attack one of them because yeah, their armies and their navies are rather large, so I actually might be able to attack Aragon and take these territories if I can win on the sea. But if I have to do a war in the Iberian Peninsula against Castile, Aragon, France, and Brittany, I don't think I'm going to win that. Because I have 16,000 troops. Castile alone has more troops than me, so once you add in France's troops, and their vassal troops, and then Aragon and Brittany on top of it, that's just going to be way too much. So my force limit for Navy right now is 7. My strategy now is going to be to build harbors in these cities on the coastline, because depending on how much residents they have, I will get a chunk of naval force limit from those provinces. A level 3 harbor gives per 1,000 residents 0.1 naval force limit. I'm pretty sure it's also affected by autonomy. So by me building roads to these 2 harbors, that should also reduce autonomy for the provinces along the coastline. And the reason why I'm doing it in the coastline and not, say, Fez, which has 138,000 residents, which would be a lot of residents, is because the harbors provide 10% of the values listed for provinces on rivers. So since Fez isn't on the coast, it's not going to provide the same amount. It's going to provide 10% of the amount of provinces on the coastline. So it's a lot less. So I'm going to try to build up my navy and then take these provinces. And then also I want to take Granada. And then if Castile attacks me one-on-one, I'm pretty sure I can take territory from them that way. So yeah, pretty much just building up my navy. I think I'll attack Tlemcen when their truce ends with them in 3 years. Tunis is allied with Jared, Yemen, Mamluk, and Tlemcen, so I want to break off Tunis from the Mamluks, because I don't think I could also defeat Tunis and the Mamluks together, because then the Mamluks also have a bunch of vassals. So there's a lot of positioning and maneuvering I have to do in order to fight some of these guys. Also, I'm going to have my light ships. My light ships, I'm going to lose money on those, but I'm going to have them protect trade for the naval tradition gain. I think that's worthwhile, so I can start getting some naval tradition gain. Naval tradition also gives privateer efficiency percentage, so if I get that high, I could stack that up, and then once I get the other naval groups and I have that flagship, then I could probably start making a lot more on privateering. Let's go ahead and do these commoner interactions. Alright, I'm trying to get back to 0 stability. I did one of the supports that adds burger power because in order to get commercialization, in order to even get commercialization spread, we have to have commerce, right of commerce 7+ apparently, which I'm pretty sure we didn't have this in my Hungary campaign, but we got it anyway. But apparently we can't get it at all without right of commerce 7+. So we're currently at 5. In order to get the next one, you need 20 burger average power and 25 metropolitan influence. But then you also need one of the following trade ideas, plutocracy ideas, or 25 burger average power. The easiest one out of that is 25 burger average power. Otherwise, you're going to have to get an entire idea group in order to get that. So yeah, 25 burger average power is probably the way to go. I think the way that it's going, I should get that by the end of that support that I gave to them. And then the other thing is I only need one. I should only need this one reform in order to start getting meritocracy. Hopefully, that's the idea. Once I get this, I should be able to get meritocracy. None of the following: privileged government of kin. Alright, I think I have to get rid of a privilege as well now. Government of kin. Also, 30 bureaucracy average power. Ours is 29. That's should be done by the time we can do that. 65 executive authority. That's a lot of it's a lot of things to do. Our executive authority is 61%. All right, I gotta look at those and determine what to do with that stuff. So it looks like that privilege that we have to get rid of in order to enact corruption reforms, which is, it's not the top one. I thought it was government of kin, but that's green, which means we're good on that. It's ceremonial court, which is this one. Ceremonial court to ambitious court. So the aristocrats would lose influence. We get -5 base relations between the aristocrats and the state, -0.25 yearly corruption, which is actually nice because then we will lose corruption. So I was going to eventually do that anyway. It's only 35 noble loyalty, which is a lot, but some of the other ones are actually -40, 45, 50. So that's actually on the lower side compared to the other ones. Their loyalty is 83, so 35 would get that down to sub 50. Let's see, when do the other stuff that I gave them end? About 3 years. Can I give them anything now? Pretty much just overlooking tenant abuse, which I don't want to do. And I don't want to give them any land. I don't want to promote them or their faction. So I'll probably hold off on that now until I can give them the next round of favors so it doesn't decrease that much. Alright, we have cores, castles built here. That should help protect our provinces from from Mali, really. Also looks like we built that fort here as well. That should also protect us coming up this way. Just gotta fort the Sahara as much as possible. Our vassal makes 14 ducats, so that seems a little insane to me. I really hope that's not like a manpower glitch, because that would suck. I'd rather not have a manpower glitch this early. I assume it's not manpower glitch because they only have 2,400 manpower. I assume the manpower glitch directly affects manpower, which is why it's called the manpower glitch. So I think that they just make that money from either abusing the people or salt, because these provinces do produce a lot of salt, so they might just make a lot of money from salt taxes. They have no salt taxes. Man, the amount of times I directly prove myself wrong immediately after saying something is it's pretty high. But yeah, there's no salt taxes, so I don't know what they make money from. There's a couple provinces where they make most of their money. 3 ducats from that province, 2 ducats from that province, a ducat from that province, 2.5 ducats from this province. And this province has 5,000 people in it. There's really no industry, so it seems like something weird's going on there, because I don't think they should make that much money. But I don't know. They might just make money from the tribes, actually. Maybe their tribes are really rich. That would make sense. What privileges do the burghers not have? Global trade power, so overlooking smuggling, which would give 10% global trade power. Pretty sure smuggling exists as a mechanic. But I don't actually see directly where it comes into play, so I could give that. I'll probably eventually give that to the burghers once I have more of a global empire going, so I can get more global trade. But I think I'll hold it for now. When I fight Tunis, I'll probably focus on their coastal territories. Let's try and lock Aragon out from expanding into Tunis. Tunis itself is a pretty good province. 30 developments, dominant center of trade. I'd like to add that. I should be able to make a claim on that province. Let's see, 16 ducats. I'll build a harbor. I think there's really only 2 provinces that have a lot of residents that are coastal that don't have... Actually, there's 4. There's this one, and these 2 don't have harbors being built that have a lot of... or a decent amount of residents at least, so I'll go ahead and build one of those. I only want to build 1, so I'm going to put current parallelism on 1. I'm not sure if that actually does anything, but I'll do it anyway. That is, I think, rank 2 harborage right now. Yep, rank 3 harborage, prepared to construct, 333 ducats. Let's go. So, let's see. How many people are here? There are 34,000 residents. Theoretically, that should be 3.4 naval force limit, but I'm pretty sure since I'm not getting 3.4 force limit from these provinces, that's also affected by autonomy. I think something's messed up with naval force limit, because I feel like I should be getting a lot more naval force limit than I am. But I think that's most of the countries in the world. Like, the Ottomans pretty much own all their coast, and they only have force limit of 14. My diplomatic relations increased. I was actually thinking about my voice. I want to try to vassalize Arborea. And that would make conquering this area a little bit easier. Plus, it's always good to expand your country. And doing it with no aggressive expansion is great. I'm only going to be able to improve relations another 11, so that'll get them to 157. I'm not sure this is actually going to happen, though. And transfer trade power is only +2. That could be another 8, I believe. But I have to cancel it, and that would decrease relations with them. So I guess I'll just have to hope that different religion decreases randomly, like it does sometimes. I could give them subsidies, but that would be +15, so that's not going to get it either. That would be 26, which would be 162, which is still 28 off. So that might not happen. But they're already taking up a slot, so I think there's a province, a country down here. I think these guys, yeah, I could vassalize them potentially. I would need an alliance, though. And their government reform does not allow royal marriages, so we'll see how that goes. My current ruler died, so I have a 443 Regency Council until my 526 can take over. Unfortunately, with Regency Councils, I'm going to get hit with another one of those realignment ones, which is going to take more stability from me, but we'll just have to deal with it. But I'm going to end this part here, and to pick it up in the next part, probably go until we can attack Tlemcen, conquer Tlemcen, fight Tunis, get them to break their alliances so that they can be an easier conquest in the future. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.